Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to this mini-sode of the Calypso Cigar Review Podcast. This actually is a video-sode.
Yes, it is a video-sode, our first official one, because the other one was just a test.
Yep, and this is coming from an undisclosed location because we're doing something a little bit different today. We've had so many emails about this, people in forums contacting about us about this, because we do have a lot of international fans. We have people in Chile and Venezuela and the UK,
China, Japan.
The general question seems to be, when are you going to review a Cuban cigar? So, in order
we had to leave the country.
Yeah.
In order to do
this review.
Yeah.
And for our fans, we are now today reviewing the Montecristo Petite Edmundo.
Petite Edmundo.
This was provided by Cigars of Habanos.
Who are now following us, and we'll get a shout out later.
Yep. So go to cigarsofhabanos.com if you are outside of the CONUS and you want to order yourself some Cuban cigars.
Not just CONUS, yep. Alaska and Hawaii as well.
Outside, yes, exactly. Anywhere but us.
And Puerto Rico, probably. Can you smoke Cubans in Puerto Rico?
I don't know.
Because you don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico because it is part of the United States.
I am not sure.
That's an interesting topic.
This is a
Maybe
cigar.
Somebody will let us know.
Montecristo, has always been kind of one of the, everybody touts it as one of the best Cubans that you can have. So the Monte No. 2 is one that's a big one. Let me go ahead and cut mine here.
I took my band off so that I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yep.
It's just a cigar.
What he said. I'll take my band off too, just because. And
but here is the band.
We're going to light. And the good thing about Cigars of Habanos, if you're going to buy from them, is you can actually contact them directly before you order, and they'll send you the box code and the date so you can get an idea of the age of the cigar that you are getting, as well as the box code to make sure it is legitimately a Cubano cigar.
Can't find my lighter. There we go. Got it.
And
I have my Texas Ranger Zippo, but with the Z insert, so it's actually a torch.
Now, these are not that old. Typically, when you think of Cuban cigars, you want to get something that's got a little age on it. This is only from May 2013, so it is relatively fresh. And you're always going to get a different flavor when you smoke a fresh Cuban versus one that's had some age on it. I think Cuban cigars tend to benefit more from age than non-Cubans do. Non-Cubans still benefit, obviously, but Cubans, because of the way that they're rolled, they're a little bit less strict about all the ins and outs of doing it and the quality control.
Right.
They definitely benefit from age. So first draw on this.
My draw was wide open. It does feel a tad wet, but I can't tell just yet.
Very musty and earthy right off the bat.
Yeah, I don't have a good cherry going, but it's lit and it's smoking, so I'm going to stick with it.
Musty, earthy goodness. And a little bit of that salty twang that you always expect from a Cuban cigar. We are pairing today as well with, this was gifted to me from cigarfederation.com. There was a gentleman on there, and I won a contest. I won a Cigar Aficionado for the year, and I had previously bombed this gentleman back when I was on the Cigar Aficionado forum, and he sent me this nice bottle of High West whiskey, campfire whiskey. Now, this is unique stuff because it's actually a straight rye whiskey mixed with a straight bourbon whiskey mixed with a blended malt Scotch whiskey.
So that rye, bourbon, and Scotch
mixed together.
Bottle.
Yep, and it's got a little date on it when it was, marked and distilled and all that crap. So it is very unique. Even the bottle's unique. If you look at it,
very cool bottle.
It's got
very frontier style.
Yeah, it's got like all those little dots in the glass where it was like hand blown, and the bottom of the bottle is all off kilter and weird looking. So
yeah, look at the bottom how it's
it's like tilted.
Tilted, yeah.
Yeah,
weird.
So it's a cool deal. Feels very old school cowboyish. And it's got.
And I have a story about cowboy whiskey that we'll get to in a minute.
Okay, it's got a great nose on it. The nose is very campfire-y, very spicy on the nose.
It's got spice going down too. But it's good stuff.
Yeah, just drinking that, it's got a great flavor to it, man. It's just got a unique flavor. It's kind of campfire-y, kind of peaty. It's definitely unique. And let's see how it pairs.
So I didn't light it very well, but it's burning pretty good. So
I've got a decent burn. It's not a razor sharp burn, but we've had these probably
a week.
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than that. Probably 3 weeks. They've been sitting in the humidor, kind of trying to acclimate. I typically like to give them a little more time than that, but we wanted to get this review out there for Cigars of Habanos since they provided these to us.
Cubans and Fuentes seem to be the cigars that need to age the most.
Yeah, especially Opus.
Opus,
they definitely
the
benefit
Hemingway
from the extra age.
Works better with age too. But I could seriously, and people will roll their eyes. You might even roll your eyes, but I could blind smoke a Cuban and know it's a Cuban. And the reason why is I get that dirty, musty. Yeah, see, yeah, it's just fucking dick. Really? What I said made you that horny that you
No. Yeah, no, I agree.
I
get agree.
That it's I call it dirty, and it's probably earthy. Dirty is probably not the right word.
It's a musty,
but
earthy.
I get that
flavor.
dirty, earthy, musty taste, and I only get that with Cubans. And it's not a bad thing because I've liked every Cuban I've had.
Yeah.
When I was out of the country and not in this
Yeah.
land where it's illegal.
Exactly. And to me, I mean, Cubans benefit definitely from being stored a little bit drier. I think 65 RH is good for Cubans, maybe even 62. And then good dry boxing the day before you smoke them, just to get them ready to go, because they do tend to ship a little wet. So they definitely benefit from that as well.
Yeah.
To help bring out all the flavor of them. So first, third, musty, earthy, a little bit of that saltiness. That's pretty much what I'm getting.
Yep. And notice we're wearing our Wyatt Nicaragua hats. We're being twins today.
True story.
Richardson, Texas is where we usually do our show at the Calypso Cigar Shop. And Richardson every year has this festival called the Wildflower Festival. And they draw big name bands. It's not like you get Joe Blow and his truckers bands. I mean, it's big name bands. And this past year, I'm not a pot guy. I don't smoke pot. I don't care if you do. I just don't.
I don't.
I meant you in general. Not
people in general.
Not everything's about you, Brandon.
Well, you're looking at me when you said it, so.
Well, because I'm trying to elicit a conversation with you.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm walking with this hat on. I saw that face. See, this is the difference with video. I can see your reactions to stuff. But I'm walking by, and this guy walks by and goes, "Dude, 420, man. Hell yeah."
Because he saw the leaf on your hat?
Cool. Hey, thanks, great. Man. Don't know what you're talking about. So I walked by, and another guy goes, "Dude, man, good job, dude." What I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he says, "No, man, the pot leaf on your hat." Like, it's not a pot leaf.
Not a pot leaf.
It's the Wyatt Nicaragua cigar logo.
Yeah.
Jeez. People assumed it was a pot leaf.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that. I didn't even think about that. I wore this to take my daughter to school the other day.
I wear it all the time.
That explains why the teachers were like, "Hey, man."
The teachers.
Yeah. No, they weren't.
It was the parents. Don't let him pick up your daughter, man. He's gonna be stoned. Dude, the man's stoned.
That guy's on the wacky backy.
So yeah, this is not a pot flower in her head. It's Wyatt Nicaragua. And I was wearing this hat last week, and Brandon came into the shop and said, "Ooh, I like that hat." So, being the dude that I am, I gave him one.
Very
that's
nice
just me. That's just me, man. Yep. I rock.
You do. And I would give a shout out to the gentleman who gave this bottle to me, but my phone's in the friggin' house.
You have a house outside the country?
I do have a house outside the country.
Wow,
I'm
cool.
dual citizenship, buddy.
You are dual citizen. Well, you're Mexican.
Yep, I am Mexican-American.
Half Mexican.
I have dual citizenship between Mexico and America.
Good for you, man.
Yep.
That's a good thing about Texas is it's very close to Mexico.
I have a house in Monterey.
Really?
Man. Yep.
Multiple household dude.
Yep.
This is interesting whiskey here.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean,
so you want to hear my whiskey story?
I do. I do want to get my phone too, though. Can you vamp?
I can vamp. I'm a pro.
What are you gonna vamp about?
I'll talk about stuff.
Talk about stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm good.
I guess I can always cut it out on the audio.
I did used to host a radio show. I do know some things.
So you're in Randy's hands. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my hands. I will treat you well. Anyway, no, but this so far it's burning a little off kilter, but it tastes great. Probably the fourth or fifth Cuban I've had. I've had the Partagas Lusitania. I've had the Romeo Short Churchill. I've had the Monte No. 4, which is the Corona, and then I've had this Petite Edmundo, and it's pretty good. Thank God you're back.
I've had my share of Cubans. I've been through the gambit, and I had quite a few, but out of the ones that I've had, I tend to lean towards the smaller Petite Coronas, like I like the San Cristobal de la Habana El Principe.
Okay.
I like the Partagas Short. There's other ones as well.
Have you had the Lusitania?
I have had the Lusitania. Yeah,
That's a great cigar.
It's a great cigar.
And Anyway, it's going to tell this great whiskey story since we have whiskey.
But those smaller ring gauge Cubans tend to age a lot faster, and they're actually very good fresh. So if you're going to order from Cigars Habanos, highly recommend the Partagas Short.
The Monte number 4 is great. It's a Corona. It's a great cigar.
San Cristobal de La Habana El Principe.
The Romeo Short Churchill.
Yep, is also a good one. That is very good fresh. And there's another one. For the life of me, I can't think. What's the brands? Partagas, not Cohiba.
Macanudo.
No, not Macanudo.
Just joking.
I'll look it up. Okay, no, but tell your whiskey story.
Okay. Well, I have a Macanudo story that's even more funny.
Okay.
And I'll tell the whiskey story because it's educational.
All right.
But the Macanudo thing, I was at the Calypso. I wasn't working there. I was just a customer, and I was smoking. And Matt was talking about the Cubans he'd had because they go to Grenada every year, and he'll get a Cuban. Mm. And I said, the only Cuban I've ever had was...
Wait, a person or a cigar?
He's with his wife, so I get this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that kind of cuts the person part of it out.
Yeah.
Unless he's getting like a Cabana Boy or something.
Well, I know Matt doesn't swing that way. But
not
that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
So I said, the only Cuban I ever had was when I was on my honeymoon in Mexico. I had a Macanudo Cuban. And Matt's looking at me like, Macanudo doesn't have a Cuban. I'm like, really? I bought a fake. But yeah, this hotel that we were staying in, this 5-star resort, had a humidor in it with fake Cuban Macanudos, and I knew nothing about cigars, so I thought I was smoking a Cuban Macanudo.
Wow.
Yeah, so be careful out there if you're going to be out of the country and smoke a Cuban cigar to make sure it's real. Get it from a reputable dealer.
A lot of fake ones out there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, the whiskey story. I was watching a documentary yesterday, and I think we've mentioned it, but I am a Wyatt Earp aficionado. I mean, I could tell you anything, everything you want to know about Wyatt Earp. So there was a Wyatt Earp documentary on the History Channel yesterday. Boring. Okay. I could spend 5 minutes telling you Wyatt Earp's story and give you more information than this hour thing did on the History Channel.
Wow.
But they did talk about rot gut whiskey, and you've heard about this.
Yeah.
What bars would do to lengthen their whiskey supply was they would create their own whiskey so that they could use the good stuff for special customers, for themselves, to stretch it, whatever. Mm-hmm. So what they would do is they would take, let's see this glass, you would take about this much grain alcohol, pure grain alcohol, a spoonful of sugar.
Helps the medicine go down.
You would, yeah. Thank you, Julie Andrews. And then you would cut a plug of tobacco and sit it in a glass or bottle, however you wanted to do it, and let it sit there for a couple of days so that the liquid would absorb the color of the tobacco.
Okay.
And then they would strain it so you wouldn't get tobacco and stuff. And people would drink this stuff. Well, if you know, I mean, you swallow tobacco juice, that's gonna hurt your stomach. Hence the name rot gut. Mm. So patrons eventually got wise to this technique and what was happening because people were dying of renal failure from drinking rot gut whiskey. So what patrons would do to determine if the liquid they were drinking were whiskey or was it crap was if you lit a flame to the whiskey, they would get a spoonful of whiskey and they would light a flame to it. If it turned blue, that meant it was natural alcohol and it was fine to drink. If it stayed yellow, it was crap. Mm. And a lot of bar fights started because of bars serving this crap rot gut whiskey. See, now that's an interesting story.
That is a cool story, yeah. So if you just see someone light your whiskey, then you're probably hosed.
Now, so in other words, if you're drinking, Kentucky Deluxe, you might want to do the flame test on it just to make sure. Not that I'm ripping Kentucky Deluxe.
So this bottle was gifted to me by Will Bazan over at Cigar Federation, who was previously on Cigar Aficionado Forum. So thank you, Will, for the bottle of very unique.
Thank you, sir.
Very unique whiskey.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Hey, you gotta do this thing. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Drinking booze, smoking cigars.
That's the glass that broke on me in that bottle set that I got.
Yeah, there was a Glenmorangie bottle set over at one of the local vendors over here in.
I had Brandon pick me up one too, since he was getting one for himself.
Over in the Colony, and it was like, what was it, 28? It was really cheap, 28 or 29 or
it was
something like that.
It was a good deal.
It was a bottle of Glenmorangie and two glasses.
Yeah. And I put mine in my trunk because I'd had a few. It wasn't open. I didn't need to put it in the trunk, but I did. And when I was doing, I guess it shifted and it landed under like this. I haven't played softball in 10 years, but yet I still have a softball bag with my bat and balls and everything.
Yeah.
The box landed underneath that, and when I was trying to pull the softball thing off. The box went flying over my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Shattered. So I wasted good scotch and a couple of good cocktail glasses.
Dang.
On
That's
a
messed
sport
up.
that I haven't played in 10 years. Go figure.
Yeah. Damn it. It's a waste of scotch. That's horrible.
Life sucks. Oh, by the way, look at this. I'm going to do my cherry so you can see it. Remember at the beginning I had no cherry, and I have not relit or anything. I haven't touched up.
I've still got my
and I still got
my same ash going, and it's a nice looking ash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice white looking ash. A little splintery because I think these were probably smoked a little early. But it's a good nice
Mine's
solid
holding
ash.
up. I mean, I haven't had a Cuban yet that isn't veiny. They do seem, that seems to be the trend or the process. Yeah. It's a little veiny, but it's nice.
It's a beautiful looking wrapper. The wrapper is just a nice light brown. Looks like a Connecticut shade wrapper, but it's obviously Habano. And it is pretty veiny. But they smell so good, man.
Yeah.
Just the Cubans, just when you get them, they just smell great.
Is it me or do Cubans smoke faster?
They do smoke a little faster. I think they're. It seems like the draw is really loose,
and which is a good thing in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you get a great amount of smoke in your mouth, and you get that flavor. And I like to take a good draw, and just leave it in my mouth a little bit, move it around. And then once you blow it out, actually move your tongue around in your mouth and just kind of taste it all. That's a good way to get all the full flavor of the cigar.
I do that with whiskey as well.
I'm gonna tap that ash. It's really
if you
flaky.
roll any kind of whiskey around in your mouth, I even like get it under my tongue and everything. It really opens up so many flavors. Wine, same way. Whiskey and wine are very similar, not in taste profile or anything, but
retrohale. Ow! All pepper. A lot of pepper in that retrohale.
Damn it! I hate it when I inhale.
I blew it in your face.
Yeah, and I breathed it in. Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
You suck.
I like to also blow the smoke out really slowly and just let it escape through your lips. And you could sometimes you actually get a little tingle on the lips when you do that.
It's very nutty.
Taste.
It's very nutty.
Very
cigar.
nutty. Very that earthy grittiness is kind of gone away, and now it's mostly nutty, spiciness. With still a little bit of that.
Little woodsy too. Yeah. Not cedar.
It's not cedar, but it's like a chipped wood. I don't know.
Man, Mexico's hot this time of year.
Yeah, it's so fucking always hot in Mexico.
It's supposed to be 83 degrees today.
No.
Fucking hate hot weather.
Yep, that's what you got. That's why I love living in Texas. We're so close to Mexico.
Well, in Texas, we're about to get cooler weather. Thank God.
Yeah, it's a day trip.
Thank you, God.
Yes, thank you for that.
Even if you don't believe in God, thank Him that Texas is about to get some cooler weather. Because we suffer 4 months. 8 months out of the year, I'm cool with it. Even if it's 30 degrees outside, I can wear a jacket. I can put on gloves, and I can still go outside and smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
When it's 105, you can't do anything in Texas.
Yeah.
Period. Fans, nothing works.
No.
In the store, we have to crank down the air conditioning about 4 or 5 degrees lower than Matt wants to pay for.
Yeah.
But, and Matt says that when he thinks he sweats, and that's the same with us. Not that we think too much during this podcast, but our brain is working, and it does make you sweat more when you're actually thinking about stuff.
True. So, being that this is a Petite Edmundo, we're probably going to get about 50 minutes out of this. So that's about what I'd venture with the puff a minute rule. We're probably puffing a little faster because we're talking and smoking, but
I don't want it to go out, and I've had a tendency to let mine go out because I talk too much.
I let mine sit a little bit just to give it that little time.
It
is kind of burning.
What's it called? High West. Yeah, High West whiskey. This is good stuff.
High West whiskey campfire. And the story on the back is kind of interesting. I'm going to go ahead and read this here. I'm going to write something cheesy about cowboys, campfires, and whiskey, but I figured you might be more interested in how campfire whiskey came to be. One morning that's too much to read. Anyway.
I thought you were just ad-libbing, and I just looked
No, that's
at
what it actually says.
Say, I'm going to start to say something cheesy.
I'm going to get to the combination of melon and sweet smoke really work. Oh, wait, I got to read this whole thing because that makes something kind of interesting here. See, my wife and I smelt one morning at the Bricken Locka or whatever distillery, B&B. My wife and I smelt peat in the air. The great ladies that made our meals were simmering a bottle of peated whiskey and sugar. Later that night, we bought our dessert and ripe honeydew drizzled with a peated syrup. That was the most unusual, delicious, and memorable ending to a dinner I ever had. combination of melon and sweet smoke really worked. So naturally, I thought, why not mix sweet bourbon and peat? The main flavor, or melody, is sweet honey from a wrapped bourbon. The enhancing flavor, or harmony, is floral, fruity spice from a mature rye whiskey. The accent, Satchmo's gravelly voice, is smoke from a peated Scott whiskey. The portions are top secret. Whiskey.
Okay.
When we finish the blend in heavy toasted fire wine barrels from the French and Hungarian oak to add a rich mouthfeel. So yeah,
that was an uncanny impersonation.
It's definitely freaking
it sounded just
unique.
like him.
I sounded just like him.
Just like him, man.
Just like him. Mm-hmm.
It's
very unique. Yeah.
Thumbs up. I mean, I'll do my right thumb since that's the one that
not really a blended Scotch guy, but this is something unique. I mean, it's definitely got
blended Scotch. It's
blended Scotch and whiskey.
Scotch, bourbon, and rye. Yeah. Good stuff. I'm a fan.
Not bad at all.
I'm a fan, and it pairs well with this Montecristo Petite Edmundo. Yeah.
Which now that I have my phone, I can get into the size information and everything on this.
And while you're looking that up, I want to give a shout out. And I've been remiss. I've been meaning to do this for years. Since I mentioned Wyatt Earp, I wouldn't say close friends, but I was friends with a gentleman named Glenn Boyer, who was the be-all, end-all Wyatt Earp historian. I mean, he knew the family. He met the family, talked to the family for years. Even took Wyatt's wife, Josie, her manuscript, and published it. Cool. He passed away this past February at the age of 89. And like I said, I've been remiss in not giving him a shout out. But I want to shout out to my past buddy, Glenn G. Boyer, who was a cool dude. He was a feisty firecracker. And he gave the world so much knowledge on the history of Wyatt Earp and his family. So here's to you, Glenn.
Here's to you again, Glenn. Glasses up for Glenn.
Yep.
And thank you again, Will, for that lovely whiskey. Very unique whiskey. So the Montecristo Petite Edmundo is a 4.33 size, so 4.3 inches with a 52 ring gauge. And, of course, it's a Cuban Puro.
It felt bigger than that. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But it felt bigger than that. It felt like more like it felt like a Toro, but you could look at it until it wasn't. But it kind of has that Toro.
It's like a short Toro, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, got a lot of flavor. I mean, and I'm glad that we have. I have a couple of extra to let sit. I'm gonna give them as long as I can before.
This is my last one because we're in this location for such a short period of time.
I can come back.
Well, yeah, 'cause you're a Mexican.
Yep, and I got my humidor here, baby. Well, it's a Tupperware, but hey.
Humidor.
Put a Boveda pack in it.
Tupperware.
65.
Tupperware. That sounds better.
Tupperware, yeah. Tupperware. Snap lock Tupperware with a 65 Boveda in it. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Is it Boveda or Boveda?
Boveda in Texas. Boveda everywhere else.
Makes sense.
But if you're in Mexico, it's Boveda.
Man, I'm so jealous of our watchers now because they get to see our actual facial expressions, and they're so great. And I'm just jealous of them that they get to see this.
Shut the fuck up.
Actually, I pray for you guys.
Yes, so he's going to watch this a bunch of times. He'll watch it like this. He'll cover the side that's me. He'll just be like, oh, look at that guy right there.
You know, I did that short, and it was stupid and everything, and I'm not even going to tell people where it is. But I hadn't seen it in like 4 months, and I watched it the other day. I'm a good actor, man. I'm not a voice actor by any means, but I'm a facial dude, man. I should get an Oscar.
You would, yeah, you probably do good with facials.
I'm a legend in my own mind. I'm seriously am.
You didn't catch that.
Yeah, I caught it. I just got rid of it really quickly. It's like it was.
You're a facial dude.
No.
That's what you're exactly.
You know, our rest of my commercial.
Words.
You sound great. Of course, you added audio effects to your voice, so you
I still sound like me though.
Yeah. But yeah, you're an audio dude. I mean, you're a paid audio actor.
I am. I'm a paid voice actor.
And I'm proud of you for that. And if I had kids, I would watch your stuff, but I don't, so I'm not gonna.
You watch it anyway. You get drunk and watch it.
No, I'm not gonna do that. but it was after I'd listened to that Esteban Carreras commercial the other day when listening to our past episode. I thought, yeah, I kind of suck in that commercial. I went back to watch my short, and I'm like, yeah, I'm more of a. You need to see my. I mean, I hate that you have to, but you have to see my facial expressions. That's how I act. I don't really act vocally. I act facially.
Well, when I do the voice work, I'm very animated.
And you rock at it. You're a cool dude at it. And
mean, they're always laughing at me because I'm like doing all kinds of crap with my hands and stuff.
Don't you have something big?
What? Yeah, I got a couple things, but it's there's a non-disclose
that sucks.
thing.
Non-disclosure stuff sucks.
Yeah. I do, I can talk about the stuff that's out. I do voices for a cartoon called One Piece, which is it was on Cartoon Network for a long time, and now it's mostly available on Netflix. You can get them all on Netflix. And there's another one.
Just nut up and get your IMDb page so people can see what you've done.
I don't want to pay for that crap.
How much is it?
I don't know. Too much.
If
you'd like to donate to Brandon Luna for his IMDb page fund,
and if you'd like to donate to Randy Rankin for his car payment
fund, yeah,
that would be great.
And if you'd like to donate to the Calypso Cigar Review podcast, so we can do this for another year when our year is up and we have to pay again.
That we're being serious about.
You can go to podomatic.com and find our podcast at Calypso Cigar Review, and there's a place there that you can actually click on and donate from PayPal, and we would very much appreciate that. So fans out there, if you're listening and you want us to keep doing this another year, make those PayPal payments, and we'll put that straight towards the podcast, and you'll get a big old shout out.
Oh, absolutely.
And probably get something.
Maybe
in the mail.
probably something in the mail. Yeah. Absolutely.
A little piece of me.
While we
like just a snip.
You just want some of
chance. You want some of the beard? I'll give you some of the beard when I trim it.
You're grossing people out.
We'll give you our old butts from the cigars we smoked. We'll put those in a baggie.
You'll have our DNA on them, so if you want to kill somebody, then you can plant the cigar.
Yeah. Or if you'd like to
have
make
our DNA on it.
If you'd like to make your own Randy in a petri dish, you could also do that.
Don't do that. My life sucks.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But we definitely appreciate any kind of donations you guys would give.
We had an episode a couple episodes ago where we preached, and now we have the one where we're asking for money. We don't tend to do that, but it would help. And if you like the show and you want to do that, we'd certainly appreciate it.
And now we're doing all this crap, and this costs money too. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, traveling out of the country,
video and shit.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Not free. Of course, I got a place to stay, so that's free. That's nice.
And that was cool to pay for it for that first year. And he'd probably do it again, but it'd be nice if we could be self-sufficient.
Yep. I'm going to correct my burns slightly because
you're a tool because you can't see mine. Look at this, folks.
Look at mine.
Mine, it's off just a tiny kilter.
I kind of don't want to. Well, I can probably just do this.
And you all saw at the beginning that my Texas accent came in.
You
saw that, didn't you? My Texas accent came through, and I try to hide that sometimes. But at the beginning, I had no cherry or anything, and I had a bad burn, and it's almost completely corrected.
I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to correct it because it is. You take a puff, and it starts to correct itself. As you can see, it's almost pretty much almost all the way corrected. So I'm going to give it some time. And a good cigar will catch up.
Yep.
If you happen to light a cigar badly, you light one side of it or whatever, just give it a couple, 5 or 6 puffs. It'll probably correct itself.
The best. What's the word I'm looking for? Damn you, Highland West whiskey. But the best example, there you go, example that I can give of a correct. Do I have to talk into the mic, really? On a radio show or on a podcast? That's weird.
It's good to do that.
I'm not used to this kind of thing.
Anyway, the best example, you were saying.
The best example is the Dunhill aged. Remember, my burn started off crappy.
Yeah.
And within like 2 minutes, totally caught up, razor sharp burn the rest of the way. That was really weird. And this pretty much did the same thing.
Yep. All right, so we're going to take a little break here. For you video guys, you're still going to get to see this. But for the audio guys, you'll hear a little ad from Esteban Carreras and an ad for Cigars Habanos.
We love you guys.
Love you guys. Be right back. And we're back for the second segment of today's mini-sode, where we are reviewing with whiskey the Montecristo Petite Edmundo, courtesy of Cigars of Habanos. So go to cigarsofhabanos.com if you're outside of the U.S. and order some cigars from there. They have a great selection, great prices, and they will get you all the info you need over there. If you want a certain box date, if you're looking for a certain box date, you can email them and they'll let you know what they have available.
Yep.
If you're looking for, whatever, they got it all, and they got great prices. Tell you what,
can't beat that.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you are out of, let's include everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. We appreciate the heck out of it, and it's cool to see our numbers and see that we actually do have people that listen to us. But it does blow my mind how many international listeners we have.
Yeah, it blows my mind too.
I mean, it's several hundred a week, international listeners alone. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I mean, Chile's been there from the get-go, but I mean,
Venezuela, China,
just see how much we're
Japan,
picking up in other countries.
UK,
Finland,
yep.
Kenya,
Deutschland,
China,
so yeah.
Japan.
So if you guys are listening out there, and you know, even if you don't speak English or whatever, if you go to YouTube, make those comments. We'd appreciate it. We can use Google Translate, figure out what you said.
Yep.
And that would be much appreciated. We'd like to hear from you guys as well.
Dude, we're somebodies.
We're little somebodies, yeah.
Little tiny,
but hey,
eensy weensy somebodies. But hey, it's cool.
We're doing this because we love cigars and we love hearing our own voice.
We crack ourselves up.
Right.
Hopefully, we crack a couple of you guys up.
I mean, the whole reason we started this originally was...
Do you like how my hat hit the microphone?
Yeah, I like that. That's good stuff. Yeah. Don't do that.
That's
I got to edit that shit. Stop that.
No, it adds
ambiance.
It adds ambulance.
A certain joie de vivre. But, yeah, so...
What?
That's French. I don't know what it means. Might mean...
Joie de vivre?
Joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre.
It means goat love or something. I don't know. I have no idea what it means.
Something you're familiar with. Anyway.
No.
I ratted you out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
Not illegal in most states. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I would imagine that. I hope that's illegal in most states. Jesus Christ.
I would hope, yeah.
But anyway, so this is
if you're a religious person,
if you're a religious
don't
person,
blame Brandon for using the Lord's name in vain, because that was just not.
Did I say something?
Jesus
Did I just
Christ.
say that? Oh, Jesus Christ. On a cracker. He's been everywhere. He's on crackers. He's on walls.
He's Jesus, man. He does everything.
He's on the floor. He's everywhere. People see him all over the place. It'd be cool to be
Jesus.
It'd be way cool to be Jesus.
It'd be so cool to be Jesus.
Turn water into wine.
Take like 4 fishes and 7 pieces of bread, feed 5,000 people. That'd be awesome, man.
That would be awesome. Oh, what the hell, dude?
Knocked your cigar into the ashtray.
What the freaking hell? Oh, look at that.
Man. And I hate that I did that to Brandon, because Brandon's my bud.
Oh.
But I'm glad I did it to somebody, because people do that to me at the store all the time. It drives me freaking crazy. Because, you know, I'm ringing them up, so I'll have my cigar in the ashtray, and they'll, like, be cutting their cigar, and they'll smack the ashtray in my...
I saved it.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you get it off?
Yeah, I got it off. That little spit and polish won't fix.
Spit and polish always gets it off, doesn't it?
What?
Lord, I apologize.
Wow.
I like the cigar a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rainy day here in this undisclosed location.
Yeah. It is.
It's humid.
It's humid as balls over here. Yeah. So
my skin isn't easily shiny.
Yep. And it's funny because you're sweating more than I'm sweating now. I was sweating like a pig. I had to change my shirt.
I'm so temperature sensitive.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah. Anything below 72, I will sweat my balls off.
Yeah, I'm a sweat monster too. And you think, you know, they say, oh, you sweat, you're working out, you sweat, you lose weight. I don't lose shit. I'm keeping my weight. I could sweat for 12 hours straight and still be fat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It happens. You know, my dad one time, because we were big Dallas Cowboys fans when I was, or as we say here in Mexico, vaqueros.
We were vaqueros.
Vaqueros de Dallas. But
horrible Spanish.
Thank you. I practiced. Ed Too Tall Jones, you remember him? A football fan, but you remember him. He weighed 272. He was 6'9", 272. And I remember my dad just one time during a football game, they mentioned that Too Tall Jones is 6'9", 272. And my dad says, I'm 272, so I'm not too fat, I'm too short. That was a funny line.
Yeah, that was good. I ain't fat, I'm just big bone.
I'm just too short. That's all it is, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to put this down, man. It's tasty.
I haven't had to relight. I haven't had to do anything. This is exquisite. If you get a chance to get out of the country, get you a Montecristo Petite Edmundo.
It is delicious. And I've heard the standard Edmundos are very popular and they're very delicious. I have not had one of those yet, but I'm loving this. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Oh.
That bourbon whiskey, whatever.
Well,
bourbon
I've had heartburn all day, and that just fired it back up.
Mexican food, man. Mexican food will do it to you, baby.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Eat more.
Probably.
Eat a bunch of it and get used to it.
No, we've got steaks to eat later.
Yeah, we do.
We're eating steak.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Steak and taters, man.
Steak and taters.
Man food.
Man, it is man food. We're going to have whiskey and we're going to have more cigars, and it's going to be great.
Cool day, man.
Mm-hmm.
We need to leave the ball and chain a little more often. And
I love my ball and chain.
I know you do. Ball and chains are cool. I'm not
getting ready to have our 20th anniversary.
Happy
20
when?
years.
What's the date?
October 23rd.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir. That's a big one.
And you know how we like to tie things all around?
And it's also my grandfather's birthday that day, and he's going to be 92.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Happy birthday to your grandfather.
And I'm sending him some cigars to smoke.
Like I said, we like to tie things back together.
You're losing your voice.
I know, because heartburn and that whiskey hit me hard. Sorry, folks.
Take another swig. Take another swig.
Yeah, probably.
I killed Randy in Mexico.
Yep. October 26th.
Are you serious? Is that really how you're talking?
And it's pretty close.
October
That was my
26th.
acting. That was my acting.
No, it's not your acting. It's you dying in the corner.
Jesus. Now I'm taking the Lord's name in vain. But anyway.
Do you need some water?
Probably, but we can wait.
Okay. Because I'm not going to get it for you.
Didn't
You gotta
really
drink.
expect you to.
You
no.
got it. Well, because I got to go get a bottle of water. You can't drink the shit here.
No. October 26th is the anniversary of the gunfight at the OK Corral.
Cool.
So 3 days after your grandfather's birthday
Mhm.
and your 20th anniversary.
This is the gunfight at OK Corral. I have to watch Tombstone and Wyatt Earp that day.
Just watch Wyatt Earp.
That's long.
It's better.
It is better, but I
Much
like
more
Tombstone is Tombstone's just
Tombstone's a
entertaining.
popcorn movie. It's good.
popcorn
It's fine.
entertaining. You got Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer is good.
Yeah.
I still think Dennis Quaid's better, but
That's
as
fair.
my Wyatt Earp historian background, I'll give them both big thumbs up. They're
Yeah.
both good.
They both played the character very well. They made it their own, and
With any Wyatt Earp movie, if Doc Holliday isn't the most colorful character in the movie,
it's badly
then it's a
done.
bad
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp.
And that's the thing. I liked, in both Wyatt Earp and Tombstone, I liked the Doc Holliday character the best.
Because he was more colorful. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Very much so. As a part of history, he was definitely he earned that history.
In downtown Dallas, he had a dentist office in downtown Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And they actually have a block on the sidewalk in front of where his dentist office used to be. And I haven't seen it yet. I'm dying to see this.
That's cool.
But it's blocked. So this is where Doc Holliday's dentist's office was. Or whatever.
We gotta go check that out. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be really cool.
Let's do that on the 26th.
Yeah, October
Where is it?
26th.
Do you know where it is?
No, but I can find it.
Okay, we need
I
to
can
find it.
find it.
That'd be something cool.
Because I've had several friends tell me about it.
It's outside.
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
on the sidewalk.
Just like
it's a
on the
little plate sidewalk. Yeah.
light up a little cheroot in his honor, and it get
Drink
shoot-
some whiskey and cough our lungs out.
and get shoot away. But you can't cheer in public. What are you doing?
And they got ran out of Dallas because he shot a guy during a poker game or whatever. And went to Fort Worth because it's so far away that the law would never find him there.
Well, by horse.
Yeah,
At
back then
that
it
time.
was.
Yeah.
A day and a half ride.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But thumbs up to your 20th anniversary.
20th anniversary, big 2-0. We had a couple years before that, so you know how women are. She has the anniversary of our first kiss. We have the anniversary of when we got together. We have the anniversary. It's like I remember the 23rd.
You did the nasty.
Yeah, I remember the 23rd. I don't have to remember that. She'll remember that for me.
Yep, May 23rd was the first time me and my ex-wife did the nasty.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still remember that. Yep.
Mine was July 4th.
We were watching a John Denver special.
Oh, yeah.
And
John
all of a
Denver and the
sudden it
Muppets?
happened. No, it's just it was on Austin City Limits. He was on
Okay.
Austin City Limits. Yeah. And I guess he sang enough to get her in the mood, and we did it. It was a fun night.
Man, John Denver got him laid.
Miss John Denver.
Yep.
If you subscribe to me on YouTube, you've seen that I've commented on several John Denver videos.
John Denver was a cool dude. Very cool.
From Fort Worth, actually.
Yep. And he made some damn entertaining movies.
Mhm.
Gotta love Oh God, No God Book 2.
He was funny, and oh God, there's no doubt.
Yep. The third one wasn't. He wasn't in the third one, was he?
No, that was
Oh
that was
God.
that kid. Oh God, you devil or something.
Yeah,
Where
Oh
the
God.
kid kind of did the George Burns, and he was great. What was his name? He used to date Jennifer Aniston.
There was
He played Ferris Bueller on the Ferris Bueller TV show. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. Let me look.
And
it up.
Jennifer Aniston was on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the TV show.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say she wasn't in the movie,
No, she played the Jennifer Grey part.
but she was in The Leprechaun.
Yeah, this was pre-Leprechaun,
Yep.
before she got big with Leprechaun, because that did that launch her career. But
Leprechaun. Is Leprechaun how she got friends? That's what I want to know. They go, where did that girl from Leprechaun?
she was actually on another TV show called Muddling Through, and if it had been picked up, she wasn't going to get to do Friends. And at the last minute, it got dropped by CBS or whatever, CBS or NBC, or ABC, I mean, and she got the Friends job. So good for her. Craig
Wow.
something is the guy's name.
The kid?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Young Bobby. I got Young Bobby. I don't see.
Look up Heartbreak Hotel, because he was in that movie too, where he was a kid that kidnapped Elvis for his mom. You ever seen that movie? It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
Same kid. He dated Jennifer Aniston pre-Friends days.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky man.
Mm-hmm.
James Cromwell was in Oh God, You Devil.
Was he really?
Yep, he was a preacher.
Dude, that guy's had a great career.
Yep. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Wonder if he ever said that in bed to a woman. That'll do, pig. And she's like, damn you. Wait, well, that's kind of cool that you
Only
said
if he
it.
went hogging that week.
Right. Wee! Even if we go inappropriate so fast, I'm fine.
We just spiral out of control sometimes.
That's okay, because what we like to do with the show is we like to give you a kind of a viewfinder's view of what it's like to hang out at your local B&M with a couple of guys and talk about cigars and whatever else comes to mind.
Movies.
And that's why we're not so cigar-centric like a lot of the shows where it's all cigars. We like to put in a little bit of personality into it and talk about what we would talk about if we were just hanging out. And this is what we do.
Yeah,
so.
And seriously, if you were to capture Calypso on a Friday night, this is the conversation you would hear at Calypso. Mostly because it's Brandon and I talking.
Yeah, hanging out, exactly. And other people chiming in every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. So. We let other people talk sometimes.
Yep, and Davis has been a great guest. And
yeah, Davis is a cool dude.
Yep.
Chad, we need to get Chad on the show. I don't know what he'd talk about, but Chad's just a cool dude.
You guys would talk about old stuff.
He might be the most laid-back guy I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I love the dude to death. I mean,
he would just sit there
when he doesn't talk.
He would just sit there and look at his iPad the whole time.
Yeah, well, he likes to read. He's a read guy. He's a book nerd, and that's cool.
Yep,
I'm a book nerd. I'm a book nerd myself.
Books are great.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most of the books I end up reading are kids' fantasy novels because that's what my daughter's reading, and we want to talk about that stuff. So
Harry Potter. You read the
Harry Potter and the Percy Jackson books and all that stuff. So yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have kids.
But they're fast read and they're entertaining. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not entertaining. It's just not necessarily what I would read on my own. I'm a Star Wars nerd. I'd probably read stupid Star Wars books.
I was about to ask you, what would you read?
I don't know. I read a lot of stuff. I like to read about history too, though. So I tried to read that book that that was based on the Paul Giamatti movie about the president he played, John Adams.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that book was a beat down, man. It's so
sometimes that can
boring.
Happen. That's the problem. I love biographies too, but sometimes they can just beat you to freaking death. I need to read some Wyatt Earp stuff. I need to get to some Wyatt Earp stuff because movies have never truly captured what an interesting life that dude led. That dude led an incredible life. And if someone would actually, and I'm going to do it one day, someone would actually write a movie about the real Wyatt Earp story, it'd blow any Wyatt Earp story you've ever seen away. Why Hollywood tends to add stuff to his story is stupid. The story is incredible in and of itself. So I'll get you some Wyatt Earp stuff.
Okay. We're getting to the last third of the Montecristo Petite Edmundo here. And
I love this cigar. Man,
it's getting a little spicier near the end, probably because I was smoking it a little fast, but I don't know. We've been going at this about 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So this was going to be a mini-sode.
Yeah. Well, the audio version of it will be a mini-sode. We'll lose all the Wyatt Earp stuff. I'm just kidding. Look at
the best stuff.
His face is like, what?
See, I told you I'm a good actor. See, I'm a face actor. I told you I'm a face actor. Whatever. Dude, I did a good job on that short, man. I just barely had a script. I'd seen it 10 minutes before we started shooting. I rock as an actor.
Okay.
Try to find it on YouTube because I'm not going to tell you. And thank God Brandon doesn't remember the name, so he's not going to tell you either.
I'll link it on this podcast. Maybe it'll get you some views.
We shot it in like 3 hours. I got the script 10 minutes before we started shooting.
That's how it works, though. It's a student project thing, so you can't, fault them.
And and those kids are good. And they did another one. They didn't ask me to be a part of it, so the acting must not have been as important for this other one they did.
Maybe it didn't have old people in it.
I'm not old.
All right, salt and pepper.
Anyway, they're good kids and they're going to make some great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, considering how little time they had to do it,
they had to write it on Tuesday, we had to shoot it on Wednesday, and they had to edit it and turn it in on Thursday.
And there was actually special effects in it and everything. Yeah, I was like, how the hell did they do that? I would have no concept of how to do the special effects that they did in that limited amount of time.
It was pretty cool. I was blown away by it.
Did you get to see any of that process?
Yes, I did. It was just the thing where I shoot down.
Yeah,
this guy.
Was that like?
Yeah, it was what they did was they shot a picture of me here, and then he found this tree line, and then he shot the tree line, and then moved me up to the tree line, and then brought me back down. It was really cool. So it looked like I was flying in from the sky, and it was pretty realistic looking considering the short amount of time they had to do.
But they should have had you do the hero stomp when you land and like hit the ground and That would have been cool.
I was watching an interview with Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, our Kevin Costner mention that we have to do almost every episode. But he was talking about he hated Superman as a kid because he didn't buy into the fact that he could be flying, 80 miles an hour and then just land.
Yeah.
He said you would land and you'd stumble no matter who you were and stuff, and that's why he didn't buy it.
Yeah. That's probably true, yeah.
Which is kind of funny that he wanted to be in a Superman movie. But,
yeah. I like what they said in Big Bang Theory about Sheldon said that in real life, if Superman had caught Lois Lane when she was falling from the building, because he's the Man of Steel, he would have just cut her into 3 pieces when he caught her. Which is probably true.
Science is, yeah.
Yeah. Scientifically, not going to happen.
So how come he's sometimes the Man of Steel and sometimes not? I've never understood that. And trust me, Superman's the only superhero I give a damn about. But
Batman?
I like the Adam West Batman because it was cheesy and stuff. Luckily, I have my shark repellent.
Yeah.
Now, I love the old Adam West Batman, but I kind of liked the Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer was okay.
I liked
Clooney ruined it, and since then I can't even get into the Christian Bale or who.
I like the Batman stuff. I'm a big fan of Batman. That was my joint growing up was Batman.
Nobody could play the Joker better than Jack Nicholson. I know Heath Ledger was pretty good from what I heard, but
I didn't like Jack Nicholson as Joker.
He was great as the Joker.
I didn't like it.
That's because you don't know shit.
That's because I'm not a big Jack Nicholson fan. He plays himself in every movie. It's Jack Nicholson.
All the legends play themselves, if you think about it.
That's the difference between a movie star and an actor. There's movie stars who play themselves in every role, and they can get away with it. And then there's actors who
Did Jimmy Stewart not play himself?
Yeah, pretty much.
So is he not a great actor?
He's a movie star.
He was a great actor, too, though. But he just played himself.
Yeah, he was a good actor.
Cary Grant played himself.
True, yeah. But they were movie stars. And again, there's actors and there's movie stars. But there's also actors that become movie stars, because you look at guys like Robert De Niro and Al Pacino who actually played characters, but now they just play themselves. They've kind of reverted back to movie star status, and they just
I'll
kind
give you
of
that
do the whole
on
thing.
De Niro. I've never bought Al Pacino as an actor ever, and we're gonna lose listeners now.
Are you kidding me?
Because I just said something bad about Al Pacino. But...
Hoo-ah! Ever since he did that movie, he yells in every movie. It's like it just was the catalyst for the rest of his career. He's like, I gotta yell at everything now. I don't know what the hell that is, but maybe he can't hear. Who knows?
Maybe it's because I haven't really. I know we've exposed this before. I've never seen The Godfather.
Have you seen like Dog Day Afternoon or any of his older stuff in the 70s when he was acting?
No.
You got to see that stuff, man. That stuff's good.
I think everything since Son of a Woman is
he played a gay bank robber.
Really?
And the guy who was the vampire in Fright Night, the original,
Chris Sarandon,
was his lover.
Really?
Yep. Good movie. It's a good movie. I mean, it's
Which one is that? Dog Day Afternoon?
Dog Day Afternoon, yeah.
I've heard of the movie, obviously, but haven't seen it. It's funny. I thought about this the other day. We present ourselves as these movie snobs and there's a lot of shit I haven't seen.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a movie snob. I'm just a fan of movies. I love movies.
Yeah, but we rip on stuff if it isn't good.
But that's what people do, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Everybody has their own opinion, and opinions are like assholes, and we're assholes. So we have opinions. But, the creature feature, the Esteban Carreras creature feature is about that. It's about, seeing those crappy horror flicks and making fun of them, because that's what you do with those. I mean, I don't think those people make those movies thinking they're making, like, Spartacus or anything. They know they're making a piece of crap.
Yeah.
But it's also highly entertaining. So those movies are fun to watch. I remember even being a kid and going to Blockbuster in the lay-bad cinema section and getting, like, stupid movies like, Spider-Man versus Zombie and stuff.
Dude, The Blob had the great Steve McQueen in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a terrible movie. Michael Landon, my mom was a huge Michael Landon fan. So we had to watch Bonanza, Little House on the Prairie. She loved the dude. But I Was a Teenage Werewolf, which kind of Teen Wolf stole from.
Yep.
But a cheesy, horrible movie, but fun to watch.
Yep.
So watch The Blob and I Was a Teenage Werewolf and whatever he just said.
I made that up. That wasn't a real movie. But yeah, there's a lot of those crappy old Hammer movies. That the Hammer was the big people. They made a lot of cheesy Italian horror flicks. Peter Cushing was in like a million Dracula movies over there and stuff. And yeah, so. Dude,
I'm somewhat a fan of Troma, because they know what they're doing at Troma. They're going to present you with a lot of blood and gore, some TNA.
It's going out on me.
And it's going to be the worst movie you've ever seen, but they don't care. They just make them.
They make fun movies. They're very fun to watch. There's always a lot of boobs. There's always ridiculous situations, people getting into ridiculous things, and a crap ton of gore. Never believable by any stretch of the imagination, but highly entertaining.
Man,
And
mine went
did
out on me.
you
I was puffing
hear?
on it.
Yeah, I know. I had to light mine up a little bit again. They're actually remaking Toxic Avenger.
Oh, really?
Yep. Not them. Hollywood is remaking Toxic
Oh.
Avenger. So
Not
that
Trauma? That's real
not
Hollywood?
Trauma. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see if it has that same kind of goofy, fun feel, or if they're going to screw it up like the new RoboCop that looks ridiculous.
There's a new RoboCop?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep, the remade RoboCop's coming out. I don't even know who's in it. Michael Keaton is like the bad guy, and somebody else is in it that I don't know. And it's going to be
Some actors?
PG-13, so already down right there on the PG-13. That movie needs to be rated R.
You know, the
Needs to be.
original RoboCop was shot in Dallas.
Yep.
Although it took place in Detroit.
Houston as well. They shot some of it in Houston as well.
But it takes place in Detroit or something. And it's so funny because you can see Reunion Tower, which is,
Yeah.
if you ever watched 10 seconds of the TV show Dallas, you know that Reunion Tower is in Dallas, and
Yeah.
they show it in RoboCop.
Hollywood has a habit of doing that, though. They film a crap ton of stuff in Canada, and it's supposed to be New York. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. Cheaper to shoot there, apparently. So.
It is. And they get tax breaks and stuff like that.
And now a lot of your horror flicks are shot in Louisiana because there's a great movement to go over there to get movies made, and they're really
Well,
inexpensive.
Louisiana did a smart thing, and they give people crap loads of tax credits and
Yep.
stuff. Yep.
So if you're going to make a horror movie, go do it in Louisiana.
Yep.
Probably cheaper than making it in Canada. You don't have to take a bunch of crap over there and hire a bunch of Canucks.
This is the weirdest episode we've ever done.
Why is that?
Weird in a good way.
I don't think it's that
a
weird.
bad way. But we didn't do a creature feature.
It's a mini-so.
An hour-long mini-story.
We're going to cut it down. I don't know what we're going to cut. We're going to cut some of it down.
Dude, we just gave radio gold. How can you cut that down?
It's a pseudo mini-sode. We've gone 20 minutes this last part here since I started timing it, but we didn't time it at the beginning because I didn't have my phone. So, and this doesn't show time. Thank you,
It
Google
doesn't,
Plus.
because I've been
for
looking
no
all
time.
over.
I know there's
and
no
I've seen
time.
anything.
So we're
Oh,
pretty
well.
much coming to the end, though, right?
We are.
I would say that's the
You
end.
can find us on Podomatic, Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube,
Twitter.
Twitter, Facebook.
Mhm.
Give us
And
comments, and we will give you a shout out. And if you comment and like or follow or whatever, you have to do one or you have to do both. You'll be entered in the drawing for the Perfecto cigar holder.
Yep, which is a great little contraption. You can latch it to most things, and it'll hold your cigar, and it's made of nylon, so
Okay.
that you don't actually burn the casing, and it doesn't smell. You can clean it, and it smells like new. It's great.
It's cool. Very
It's a
cool product.
very cool product. Yeah. So as always, it has been great smoking with you.
See you later, Brandon.
See you next time, Randy. Bye, TV land.